Hey everybody, Mr. Dave here. Welcome back to the Buckland Public Library and the next ukulele lesson. Today, as promised, we're going to be working on strumming patterns and the various options that there are. We're going to start off with some basic stuff. You can see if you change it, it changes the feel of what you're playing. How you strum changes the type of music that you're playing. So we're going to be going over some basics of strumming. We're going to start off with just that down strum that we've been working on. So make sure your uke is in tune. Here are your notes. A, E, C, G, or low G. Take a minute, tune up, and come on back and let's get hopping on strumming. Strum patterns. We're going to start off with what we've been doing with just those 4-beat downstrokes because everything we've done so far has been in 4/4 time. You don't really need to know that, but remember that each unit is 4 taps of the toes. And we've been strumming on those taps. Those are called the downbeats. Think of it this way. Your foot's going down onto the floor. Your hand is going down towards the floor. Down beats. And there are 4 of them in most of the music that we're going to be working on. And we'll be focusing on row, row, row your boat still and strumming a rhythm pattern for that. So what I want you to do is, just like I was doing, do a C chord, and just strum on the downbeats with me. I'm going to count to 4, and then we'll all start playing together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just for fun, why don't we switch to the G chord? 3, 4, now switch, G. Good. 1, 2. Now remember, you're still new at this. If you can't get to that G chord quickly, it's okay. It comes with time. And let's go back to C. Ready? 4, 1, 2, 3, and we go back to C now. 2, good. Good work. Pause the video, come back to me after you've practiced counting to 4 over and over again and down strumming the C. Once you've gotten comfortable and you're doing it nice and steady, then we'll move along. Okay, now we've practiced the down strum. Now we're going to start doing in some of those in-betweenies. The first thing we're going to do is, I've got it marked over here, is if you look, I've got arrows on my board. And they're marked 1, 2, 3, 4 for the arrows that are pointing down. See these other arrows that are in between that are pointing up? We're going to call all of those and. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. And as you've probably surmised, every time we say and, our hand is going to be going up. Now, your hand has already been doing this. Your hand has already been going up, so you can continue those downstrokes. Your hand has to. You can't do a downstroke and then do more downstrokes by going down. You have to go back up, right? The only difference is now you're going to be hitting the strings on your way back up. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. So the tempo I was just playing, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and it just keeps going. Now, if you're into musical terms, this is actually called subdivision. You're literally cutting each one of these beats in half by playing at the halfway point between 1 and 2. So if you're thinking math, think of these as quarters. And think of these as the eighths in between. And actually, in music notation, these are referred to as quarter notes and eighth notes. Math is music, friends. Sorry. So let's practice. We're going to go slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Making sure you're strumming the strings on the way back up. If you miss the strings on either stroke, don't worry about it. Keep your hand moving, because that's the key to playing any song on the ukulele, is to keep your hand moving. Even if you mess up, if you stop the song because you've messed up, if you stop and try to go back and play the part that you missed, it's going to be like hitting a speed bump at 50 miles an hour. It's just song, 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 ugh! Song, 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 song. And people who are listening to you are not going to enjoy it as much. And it's going to be harder for you as a musician to kind of get back into the groove. You want to keep playing. And if you get anything from this lesson, don't stop playing. Keep it going. Don't try to go back and correct your mistake. Keep going forward. And remember the next time you go through where you messed up and try to fix it. But don't go back and stop to play something you missed. So, quarter notes and the eighth notes, the down strum with the up strum on your uke, playing a C chord. You guys ready? We're going to go slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Keep it going. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you switch chords right now. But keep it steady and keep it going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you should count with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Good job. Now, I believe I've mentioned this before, but just in case I haven't, you see these little wacky brackets on either side of my measure line here? These are called repeat signs. Anytime you see these, that just means whatever's in between those brackets, you repeat it. And sometimes it'll say how many times to repeat it. Sometimes it won't tell you how many times, and you just kind of decide on your own. How often though, if there's nothing written, you only repeat it once. However, because I want you to repeat it and 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 repeat it until I stop you, I didn't put any classification. Just play and keep going. So go back, practice 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and strumming it over and over again. Remember, don't stop if you miss a beat. Keep the hand moving. Keep it going up and down. And if for some reason you're having trouble playing the chord and strumming at the same time, your brain just doesn't want to do it right now, mute the strings and scratch them. Interesting little factoid. For those of you who are old like me, you might remember a song called Big Black Horse in the Cherry Tree. The beginning of that song was just that, doing that on it was actually on an acoustic guitar, but on a guitar, you call it a chuck. For some reason, on a ukulele, they call it chunk. I don't know why. They just decided to add an end to the word. Who knows why? Who cares? I don't know. They're chucks or chunks or scratches or whatever you want to call them. Do that if you have trouble playing the chord and strumming the eighth notes all at the same time. Okay, pause me. Come back to me when you're done after you've gotten comfortable, and let's keep going. Welcome back. Hope you've gotten that under your fingers, so to speak. And now, as you notice, I have written something on the whiteboard here for you. This is probably one of the most basic and widely used strumming patterns anywhere. This is the one I almost always default to when it comes to playing stuff like this. This is the one I use for row, row, row your boat, and it'll be the one that you're going to use to start with anyway. Now, before we get started, it bears mentioning, rhythm patterns are as individual as fingerprints. The way I play this, because I am a different human being than you are, will be slightly different. There will be a slightly different feel to it. And because you're just starting, it's going to sound different now than it will a month down the road, then 3 months down the road, then a year down the road. You're going to get better and more comfortable and more sure of you as a musician. And that's going to loosen up and be your personality. Yes, mathematically, there won't be much in the way of a difference. However, feeling-wise, the way you put emotion into the way you're playing, it will be different. But right now, prepare to be, static and roboty. All right, so play the blue. You'll notice mirrors exactly the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, except the blue ones are the ones you're going to actually strum the strings on. The ones with the little X's, you don't strum the string. You move your hand away. Now you only actually do that on 2 beats. You're only not playing the strings twice. The rest of the time you are strumming. If you think of it this way, it actually makes it a little bit easier because you're only not doing 2 things. There's only 2 changes to what you've already been practicing. This is what it sounds like full speed. Now I want you to notice my hand. It's just going up and down. It's not stopping, is it? It's not even moving around too much. If you look at this angle here, I'm not moving around too awful much, but my hand is constantly going up and down. I'm not going. I'm constantly moving. That's what I meant before about don't stop moving your hand. You need to keep going, because even if for some reason you miss a beat when you're strumming, now you can see I'm not playing that first down. But it's okay. But if I stop myself and go back to it, you feel that beat of, what happened to the music? That discomfort? That's what we're avoiding. So even if you miss or you play where you're not supposed to accidentally, keep the hand moving up and down. So breaking it down, strumming down, nothing. The hand's just going to move up and not touch the strings. Down, up, nothing on that down. Your hand is going to move, but it's not going to touch the strings. Up, down, up. And then it repeats back to the beginning. Remember the repeat symbols, those funny little spotty brackets. So really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Good. Keep it moving. And don't move your hand around too much. You don't need to. I'm kind of exaggerating it so you can see it better. But you don't need to move your hand too much, as long as it keeps going steady. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Good. Awesome. Practice that a whole bunch. Get used to it on that C chord, or again, if you have to, just chucking. And then we're going to come back and we're going to add this to row, row, row your boat. All right. So last time I put the music all over this section, covered up the board because we didn't need it. However, I'm hoping that at this point you guys have written out your own copy of Row, Row, Row Your Boat, or you don't mind seeing it this small. It's going to be up above the board so you can see the rhythm pattern and you can see the music. Now, let's start really slow. I'm assuming you're comfortable playing that strumming pattern. And by comfortable, I mean you don't want to go running screaming for the hills yet. At this point, we're just going to plow through. Let's see if we can get through that first part of row, row, row your boat before the chord change. So we're not going to play the G. We're going to stop right before Life is But a Dream. And we're going to go nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Good. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Good. Practice that a whole bunch. You can go even slower if you need to until you get it under your fingers. This video is one you should be pausing a whole bunch, maybe even watching it over several days, because this is tricky business. Don't be down on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. This is really hard. But once you get it, you got it. So don't give up. Don't get frustrated. Keep working on this. Pause it. And once you've gotten to the point where you can play through that section, I won't say comfortably, but I'll say with minimum amount of mess ups, we'll move on to adding on the G chord. Okay, I'm assuming you put in the practice, and now we're going to add on the G chord, that last section of the song. We're going to do the G, which I have spotted here for you, and back to the C at the very end. And we'll just do one strum for that last C. So it'll just be dream at the very end. So here's your music. There's your strum pattern. We're going to start with life is but a dream. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Life is but a dream. Getting back to that C is going to be a little, it's quick, but you can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Life is but a dream. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Life is but a dream. Good. All right. Now, pause it, practice it, and before you come back to me, practice putting them together. So going from merrily, 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 and then into life is but a dream. And remember, don't stop. If you miss the G chord right away, you keep this hand moving, just like it's playing the right chord. You keep that right hand moving, or left if you're a lefty. Your strumming hand, you keep it moving, and until your chord hand catches up. Okay? Trust me, you'll thank me later. All right. Pause me, practice a whole bunch, and come back. Okay, so you've done the practice. You've put them together. You're able to muddle your way through it as best you can. Let's play it together. The whole song, top to bottom, and no strum pattern in front of you. At this point, you should be able to do it. But I'll let you have the lead sheet still. You ready? Whole song. 1, 2, 3, 4. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Did you make it? Let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. All right. One more time. No music. Ha ha. 1, 2, 3, 4. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. All right. Good work. Thanks for joining me here at the Buckland Public Library. And keep playing, keep practicing. If you have any questions or comments or anything you need to know or want to shoot by me, please send me an email right here. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I hope you're having fun. I hope you're enjoying yourself. And keep on strumming. See you next time.